NAFDAC cannot exist without federal government paying NAFDAC staff salaries. The salary of NAFDAC staff must be paid by the federal government. That is what all regulatory agencies in the world do, because our revenue comes in streams. Therefore, if January revenue is slow, are you going to now tell staff, hold on until March to get your salary? So the bottom line is that we need the support of the federal government as far as salary is concerned. I would like now to explain our revenue streams. We have two revenue streams, what we call IGR. This includes sales of registration form, administrative fines, advertisements, and so on. Then we have the second revenue streams, which is user fees. These are fees that are paid to render services so that products can be approved. Products that are supposed to be approved, to be registered, can be approved. Therefore, these are monies we owe our clients and stakeholders until we deliver the service. And these user fees cover inspections, activities, whether it's local or foreign, laboratory analysis of regulated products. About 2 months ago, the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Health came to our lab in Oshodi, and I was taking him round, and we came to an equipment, one piece of equipment. I said, this is 300 million naira. One piece of equipment. He said, let's take a picture of this. That is what we use the money that our clients give us to render service in terms of laboratory. It covers finished products inspection at the manufacturing site. But what has happened since July of last year is that the federal government is now deducting that money once it gets to our account, which means our jobs, our services will be reduced, the quality of our services will be reduced, and the health of the nation may be compromised. But I want to also thank the Senate President, because he made a very powerful statement that this is a candid session. It's a candid interaction. I started with NAFDAC cannot exist without the salaries of the staff being paid. We generate revenues in this order: VAT, withholding tax, 1% stamp duty, and whatever little surplus that is left. Health is not a commodity. If our services are compromised, the health of you and myself, everybody here, will be compromised. From clinical trial inspection to GMP inspection, raw materials inspection, these are things we need money for. We cannot take Okada to go and inspect a site. We have to use equipment. We have to use computers. So, sir, Senate President, sir, I want you to please let everybody know that health is not a commodity that should be taxed, or that should be brought to a place where the services will be compromised and the health of the nation will be compromised. Thank you very much, sir.
We are sick. That's the truth. We are sick of revenue. We have no revenue. And I think when we sit here, we should talk the truth and say it as it is. If it means taking tough measures against agencies that are hiding accounts, I think we should do so. Because this is the life of our people. Why should an agency, in fact I was told one agency has cloned accounts. You don't know what I have? Yes. Clone accounts with billions and billions of naira. Well, why should we allow that agency to go scot-free? Even NAFDAC. When you said the Minister of Finance saw an equipment of worth 300 million, and he was so maybe pleasantly surprised or whatever it was that appropriated for you? Maybe because you had the money, you decided to go and buy. So I think, Chairman, distinguished colleagues, we have to be very, very serious about this. Honestly, we cannot just sit here and just talk this thing and disappear. We need money. We don't have money. We don't have revenues. We are borrowing money. When our monies are resting in some accounts, if it means taking tough measures, we should do so. So now that you wanted to exit, in fact, I was asking him, if you exited, wouldn't you still give us something? Because who knows what you'll be collecting? If you say you exit and you are left alone, you may be having too much surplus and nobody will say anything. And that's not a good way of handling public finances. So even those that are not funded at all, so they go away with 100%. Do you know what 100% means? We don't know. So if you are not exiting, whether you are exiting or not, those your fat accounts, we are going to look into them immediately. And not, this time forensic auditing will not take 2-3 years. We are going to be sharp. Because we are looking for money. So please, don't think that we are here to just talk and just leave. No. We are not investigative, but we want to be as practical as possible. Please.
NAFDAC announced to the committee that they are ready to exit the federal government budget. Voluntarily, you were there. They said they are ready to exit the budget. We also discovered that aside that, they maintain an account, which is an independent account where savings or money were kept. And we asked them why. And they alluded to the fact, because the amount in that account is a little bit huge, and alluded to that account, that the fact that yes, that is a separate account aside the IGR account, which Prof have just mentioned to the committee. And that account also runs to several billions of naira. And I said, there is no way you can take out of this account without being appropriated for. The National Assembly needs to appropriate for this money for you to spend. And I think along the line, the Prof agreed that, okay, we are ready to exit the budget to the extent of their overhead, expenditure, and capital, while the salaries and everything, the federal government can continue to pay. Taken aback when Prof now says they still need more money to not to compromise the health of the nation. And I believe that these are some of the reasons why I want to recommend that there is need for us to carry out some forensic audits in some of the accounts of some of the agencies of the government. This will give us a clearer picture of what is contained in that account, and what's supposed to be taken out, what's supposed to be added on, and what's supposed to be left. Because, Mr. President, I want to say this. How do we explain that in an account of any agencies of the government, every agencies of the government, in reporting, they set aside what you call depreciation. They will say this account will depreciate within 4 years. And when they are doing their accounting books of accounts, it will be clearly stated there that depreciation, and money that you are taking aside supposed to be set aside, but that is the rule. But rather than setting aside, no money was set aside, but they will still report it in that particular books. And in their annual budget, they will still place that same asset as part of asset federal government should replace in their federal government budget account. And what does that mean? When the government is now funding, money that ought to have been set aside in accordance with the books that have been reported by these agencies is nowhere to be found, but they will now use what was budgeted for in the federal government budget to now buy the same asset which they will provide for in their books of account. There are a lot of them. NAFDAC too is not left alone in this regard, and so many of these agencies.